Good evening, I'd like to do the 14th round Borough Council meeting, business meeting. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please. Councilman Long. Here. Councilman DeMellis. Here. Dr. Carpenter.
Present.
Councilperson Rexak.
Present.
President Rich. Here. Councilperson Floyd. And Councilperson.
Present.
Solicitor's President as well.
Here.
We have no comment, registered comments from the public. At this time, we're gonna suspend it a second. Fire Chief D has a presentation to do to one of our citizens.
Good evening, everybody. One of our Verona residents was elected to receive an award from the Fire Association of the State of Pennsylvania. The award ceremony took place on September 20th in King of Prussia, and he was not able to make the trip across state to receive the award. So we're going to do that this evening in public session. I would like to ask Verona resident Eric Coos to please come up. Behind me, I have the Earl Dundor Memorial Civilian Humanitarian Service Award, established in 1995 and renamed in 1999 to honor non-firefighters such as policemen, EMS personnel, and ordinary citizens for acts of heroism and valor at a time of an emergency. The award is named in honor of Earl Dundor, who was member and past president of the Quinton Volunteer Fire Company, and at the time of his death was Eastern Vice President of the Fire Association of the State of Pennsylvania. Due to his many years of service to the State Association, the award was named in his honor and is sponsored by the Provident Agency. Civilian Eric Coos. On the late afternoon of December 12th, 2024, a fire broke out in the basement of a 4-unit apartment complex on Center Avenue in the borough of Verona. Verona resident Eric Coos was on his way home driving up Center Avenue and noticed smoke coming from the apartment building. Without hesitation, Mr. Coos pulled his vehicle over, got out, and quickly rushed to the front of the building, banging on doors and yelling to see if anyone was inside. At that time, he heard screaming coming from a woman on the second floor. Mr. Coos followed the screams and quickly rushed up the stairwell to the apartment to find a woman and her 2 dogs in a panic as they were quickly surrounded by smoke. Mr. Coos lifted the bigger dog into his arms and instructed the woman to grab the smaller dog, and he guided them all to safety outside. It wasn't long after the entire apartment was engulfed in flames. As the fire departments were dispatched, we received a notification of possible entrapment, that there were screams heard from the second floor. Upon arrival and after a negative primary search, it was a sigh of relief to learn that those screams were answered by a good Samaritan who helped the resident and her dogs to safety prior to arrival of firefighters. The Verona Volunteer Fire Company, as well as all the officials of the borough of Verona and the residents of this community, thank Mr. Eric Coos for his valor and bravery during that incident. And on behalf of the Fire Association of the State of Pennsylvania, I am proud to present the award of Earl Dundor Memorial Civilian Humanitarian Service Award.
That's very nice.
Thank you. Eric, we're always taking applications at the fire hall.
Thank you very much. And just one other thing to note that Eric also received a TF Parada Valor Award from the Western Pennsylvania Fire Association on Sunday, August 10th. Congratulations.
Thanks, Dan. Congratulations, Eric. Good job.
Thank you.
Comments from the public at this time, where comments from the public, please approach the podium or raise your virtual hand. Rather than 3 minutes, address and name, please.
Good evening, everybody. I'm just standing up here to let you all know that Saturday is our big, we're off to see the wizard in our park here to bring Verona together. Although I don't need one of those in Australia, I'm loud enough. You dear. We've got everything organised. The businesses have been absolutely amazing. They've come together and they have supported us. Dental Fusion, that's owned by Sven and Michelle. They have been instrumental. I pick up the costumes on Thursday morning. It's going to be Wednesday, but I'm picking up the costumes Thursday morning. We're also going to turn the gazebo into a mini Emerald City. This is all for Verona and the good of the children mainly, because I remember as a kid doing things and telling my daughter, this is when we lived in Australia, I remember doing this and being here and that was fun. And I think we're losing that. There's like a gaping hole somewhere where the parents aren't able to say, hey, I remember doing that here and I felt good doing that. And we want to bring that back, and we want it to start with Verona, and we want it to begin at the park. And it started already with the Easter egg hunt. It continued on with the National Night Out, and we're hoping that it will continue on Saturday. Some of my cashiers are going to be doing face painting, and we're going to have Off the Rails supporting us with gift cards to their restaurant. We're going to have characters from The Wizard of Oz and Wicked, Glinda and Elphaba. We're going to have the wizard. We're going to have a multitude of characters. I'm still presenting it at work, and everybody that comes in are supporting us, so it's wonderful. And George already donated the candy and the pumpkins, and we've got everything done. So just waiting for Saturday. What was the other thing, right?
There was the costume and candy crawl.
That's right. So John asked me about the costume and candy crawl. Yes, we do have that at Rivertown. We're not involved. That's not a giant eagle thing. I don't know who does that. I don't know. It's a chamber thing. No.
Probably the Rivertown shop.
Yeah. But anyway, as Giant Eagle, we support it, and I always dress up for that too, and meet kids in at the store, and they come in and they get candy and they walk around the stores. Oh, I forgot to say, Dollar Tree were wonderful. They offered to donate broomsticks and trinkets as well. So it's just been wonderful. The businesses have been so supportive, and it's just going to be a wonderful community event. Is that all I needed to do?
That's Tuesday, the 41st.
Yes, 4:30 till 7 on Saturday. 4:30 till 7 on Saturday. We've got a little team of elves that are going to come and help us build Emerald City and plant poppies and lay down a yellow brick road. So hope to see everybody there.
Thanks, Ian.
You're welcome.
Address them as well.
Before we go on, let the minutes reflect what the mayor has arrived.
Thank you. Anybody else with comments from the public?
Sorry, I can't find the raised hand on Zoom. Kurt Sperling, 420 Ridge Avenue. I saw. Do you want to go, Susie?
Go ahead, Kurt.
Okay. No, I just saw on the agenda the speed bumps on Selden. I just wanted to know, what was going on with that, or the status of that, I guess. That's it. Thank you.
My intention to bring that up when it's my turn for my report. So we'll talk more about that. Thanks, Kurt.
Okay, thank you.
Susie Davis, 537 Ridge Avenue. I have a question. how do you, as manager of the borough, have the right to tell us crossing guards we are not allowed to apply for unemployment next summer, when we are laid off for the summer months? There is no job for us to do. We always have a callback date. I talked to unemployment. My husband also talked to unemployment. You cannot tell us we have to sign this paper saying we will not collect for unemployment. That is our right. If we pay into unemployment, we apply for it. If we make the money, we get it. We've done it for the last couple of years. I've done it for the last couple of years. My husband has done it. Nancy has done it. I says, how do you get the right to say, sign this paper, no unemployment? Can you explain that?
Yeah, it's a condition of the employment. For school crossing guards that you should not be eligible to collect unemployment provided that the position is going to be available for you the following school.
I already talked to unemployment 2 years ago. They said I didn't qualify because I worked for the school. I says, no, my paycheck comes from the borough of Verona, not the school district. Yes, the borough gets partial. And I said, this is our last day to work. We have a callback. You know when school will go back in. And they checked it. They said, yes, we did qualify for it. So this paper that you want, I'm not signing it.
The borough will need to contest it the next time that it's applied for,
That's fine.
and the legal requirement will come out during that contest.
Because I said, I guess the first year that I applied in 23, they said, no, I was denied, and I asked why I was denied. And again, I was told it was because I worked for the school. I says, I don't work for the school. My paycheck comes from borough here. And she looked in, she typed in, she says, okay, and I gave her my callback date. She said, will you qualify? I said, we spoke to two different people. I spoke to Jason. My husband spoke to Amanda. And they also told us, come Christmas break, when we have that law, since we already have a claim open, we're eligible for that week. So
The borough will contest both of those. I've done this in every community that I've worked in where they have school crossing guards and they're not eligible for employment.
I beg to differ. I talked to a friend that used to be a school crossing guard.
Yeah, legally, you're not eligible for it. We'll have to deal with it whenever you contest it, but it will come out during the hearing that you're not eligible for it.
Well,
That's how-
I have the paperwork from 23 when I talked to unemployment, and it's who I talked to and how they fixed it and they back paid me. All I'm saying is, we won't sign this. I said,
It'll be a condition of employment moving forward, is what the recommendation will be to the council, so that if individuals refuse to sign that, they should not be working for the borough of Devon.
oh, so you're gonna fire us because we don't work?
It will not be a firing.
No, so you're not gonna offer us the job. So when you don't offer us a job, that denies us the right to a job that we have been doing, and we are willing
Crossing
to
guards
do.
are not eligible for unemployment.
Well, I beg to differ with you, and I will fight it come June.
Yes, and that's what we should do. We should talk about this with unemployment.
Yes. Like I said, I wanna bring it to the public's attention, how the borough, you, I suppose, are the one that started it.
No, that was just an agreement that I had put together for all the school councils, not just for.
I know. But the thing is, we had been doing it, like I said, not a problem.
Does
I
it
don't-
make, does it make it, excuse me, I'm sorry, does it make a difference if the paycheck comes from the borough as opposed to the school?
It is not.
Because I don't know anything about it, I just know that.
Because that's like the lady at the unemployment office asked.
It sounds like if it comes from the school, then.
If it came from the school
Yeah,
and I was a school employee, which I am not,
yeah,
I'm a grown borough worker.
I'm just asking a question because I don't know.
Because like I said, the woman asked me, like I said, when I applied, do you work for the school district? I said, in a roundabout way, but she says, who signs your check? Where do they come from? I said, the Corona Borough. So I just wanna put it out there that I think you guys are trying to pull a fast one on it.
There's no fast one.
Anybody else? Here, please. Yeah, we're on to the comments from the advisory boards. Nothing there. Mayor?
Yeah, I got a couple quick things. 2 years ago, I brought up about that, welcome to Verona sign on, Second and, Wildwood Avenue, and we got the agreement signed. We do have the sign over there to be put up. And I just want everybody to know that in the agreement, and you can elaborate on this, it does say that the borough will maintain that small area of, trimming everything and what have you, making it look presentable. But I don't want anybody to come back and say, well, why are we cutting grass there? It's not very much, it's just more or less a circle. And if we choose to, or the garden club, wants to do something there, we can go ahead and do it. He's all for it. So.
Some time back throwing up.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, and it is on the action items to vote on. And also the second thing is I brought up about the parking over there by Twinborough Pub. We were gonna look into changing the, it says 2-hour parking. And, Dawn had asked me about that and, I brought it to the board's attention. If we could put probably from 9 to 3 on there, because the net's done, usually by 3 o'clock. With the streets and it would possibly scare people away thinking that it's, 2-hour parking. If they have a little party or whatever, they have to leave, that area and move their car.
I'm not clear, what are you saying, Mayor? You want it to be 2 hours from 9 to 3 and then unlimited after 3 o'clock?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, we had discussed it,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah. And the other thing I have is on these abandoned properties, and I know it's nothing but a headache, and with the we're taking care of these properties, and I think it's very unfair to all of us as taxpayers. I would rather invest some money and, get them turned over to the borough and then resell them and make a few dollars on top of that. There's a lot of nice properties in Verona that are abandoned. We tear them down. We, the people, as taxpayer, have to tear them down, and which we're going through a couple of them right now. And then we maintain them. And meanwhile, the owners, they could care less because they just walk away from them and we never hear from them. And also, my opinion is we should be citing or putting a lien on these homes, if not every week for the code enforcement, but at least once a month. And it would build up a hefty fine. And if somebody was in the future willing to buy that property, I'm sure the board would say, you know what, you're going to put money into this property. It's going to go back on the taxes. We'll forgive the, other than the owner, that is. But that's my opinion. I got 3, and I'm not saying this just because it's up by my house. I have 3 properties up on, there's 2 on Parker and 1 on 2nd Street that 2 of them we maintain. The 3rd one, I've been trying to find the owners because I'd actually like to buy it, but I can't even find that, Nobody knows of anything. I never even called the county. It's just a thought that I have. We need to start doing something. I mean, look at this one down on West Railroad Avenue, one that caught on fire, what was it, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? That's a beautiful flat piece of property. And from what I understand, I think Craig, you looked into that. The daughter and son don't want nothing to do with it, and I guess it wasn't in the will that they took it over or whatever.
There was no will.
Okay, but something needs to be done, and now taxpayers are ripping that down. It's on the scope to get ripped down very soon here, I believe. Yeah, but once again, the taxpayers are paying for that, and you've got an empty lot again, and who's gonna maintain it? But still, the taxpayers are paying for it, in the long run. But I understand why these powers to be, so to speak, can't get together and say, we're gonna change things. If the property is abandoned for so many years, we're gonna just reverted back over to, the borough and let them deal with it. That's my opinion. And one other thing, Matt, I just wanted to, I can wait here, I'll say it now. When they paved the road out here on Boulevard, especially by the bank, there's asphalt all over the road, tiny little stones, I mean, they should have, they're the ones that should be cleaning the sidewalks. I don't think we should be cleaning, or the business owner should be cleaning the sidewalk.
Yeah, I just talked to Ray. I had to email him, about that. I think you're fine.
They should have blew it off that night or the next day, because I haven't been really walking down the other, but a couple people said, yeah, there's stones in front of their building, but the post office is really bad, right where people walk in. I'm surprised they haven't complained. That's all I have.
Talk to that follow.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Thanks, Mayor. For our manager's report.
One item there is an action item that's later on in the agenda that just talks about vehicle leasing for the police department. Police chief had presented the condition of the oldest Tahoe, and we had investigated a leasing option. A true municipal lease is one that you make a single annual payment for, and that at the end it's a dollar buyout of the equipment. It looks like if you stop making the lease payments, you forfeit the asset back to the leasing agency. So it works very similar to the way that a personal lease would work. But that item in particular, just want to call some attention to that because there is a recommendation in the later as an action item for the recommendation for the lease for one vehicle for the police department, and then to replicate this in future years while the fleet was being replaced.
Can I ask a question real quick though? Who gave us this IBIS thing for the upfitting? And it says no seat. And then this, with this, whatever you call it, the rendering of the various options, it says with seat. We are getting the one with the seat.
Do you want to comment on that?
Yes, we are. So those who don't realize, the seat is, they take out the soft cushion and they put hard plastic in there, so if there's an accident, bodily fluids, it's easier for us to clean and more sanitary, we can just hose it off.
But it costs more.
It does,
But
and it also enables more room for prisoners in the back seat.
it's probably more hygienic.
It's easier to clean, instead of putting off soft cushion, clean hard plastic.
You don't have to.
So it costs a little bit more in the front end, but. Right, because if, for instance, if we had a prisoner that defecated in the back, we'd have to bring someone and clean that. And that's the long term, this, where we could just close it off. And go from there instead of scrubbing it.
It's worth a little bit extra.
Right, in the long run.
Yeah, okay, I just want to clarify that. I wasn't sure what no seat and with seat exactly meant.
And to clarify, that may be my fault. I got two proposals. Actually, four. But one proposal was with seat, one was without. I may have sent the wrong one, but he has the final numbers.
I think the
The-
motion is correct.
Right.
The other item that I wanted to bring up, Mr. President, is the next month's board meeting is on Veterans Day. And just wanted to confirm that council did still want to be holding its meeting on Veterans Day.
We've never changed it before, have we?
Not that I'm aware.
Yes, we're gonna have it.
Right.
Oh, great, thank
Hmm?
you. I just said thanks.
Okay.
Next up will be the Public Works report.
Got the report in everyone's packet there from AJ, even included a nice picture of some work that they did at the dock to make a temporary repair on that, making sure that it wasn't going to float away as a result of that hinge being broken there. But really, there were several items that were in here, replacing illegible signs, continuing crosswalk and VASCAR line painting. Electrical work was done on the boulevard there for street lights and the street poles. Several receptacles on those poles had to be replaced. I'm not sure when the last time was those were used, but they had to be replaced because they were non-functioning. Some handrails were replaced on Vogel's Lane. There were several tires that were recycled this week. The street sweeper was out about 15 hours per week, every week this past month. It went down briefly, but was repaired and was back up in operation. Numerous potholes were patched, including those on Joan, Fireman's Alley, and Parker Street. The barricades were replaced that were used on South Avenue. There was a handicap sign that was replaced on Parker Street, as well as occupancy sensors that were changed. Some cabinetry was installed and removed in the police station. Sewer line was jetted on by Robinson Pipe towards the end of the line on Sylvan Street. And 2 stop signs were placed on Allegheny Avenue. Some post-storm cleanup of basins and drains occurred throughout the borough. The staff attended a public works seminar at Gateway Engineering that was held through the Allegheny League of Municipalities. All 3 employees attended. And then the dock repair, which also includes the picture there in the report. So that's everything for public works.
The lights on ARB, the 2 or 3 that were out the line, did they figure that out?
So the conduit's believed to be crushed. We're going to use a jumper or a extension cord that's going to be above in the short term until we can figure out a long-term repair on it. But it looks like it's going to be an extensive and costly repair to make.
I'm still not sure if that was from the contractor, huh?
Right.
So is that due to the pay?
That's, they're not
We're
sure.
not entirely sure.
So do they have to figure that out? Because if it is from contractor or
Yes, it's-
PennDOT or whatever, then are they responsible for the cost?
Yeah, I don't believe it's going to be able to be pinpointed to the contractor. So we think that we're not exactly sure when the damage occurred to it. But in the short term, we're going to use the jumper cables to go in order to make sure that there's electric for the holiday season in the short term.
And since you brought up lighting, it's on my thing, but I'm just asking now, what about the 2 poles that need to be put up? And then there were a couple where the light bulbs didn't work. Were those repaired by these electricians or was that something else?
I don't know.
There's a pole over by Getco that I think doesn't ever turn on. And maybe it was back when Stephanie was here. She said it took a special electrician that knew about these kind of lights, that it wasn't just a simple thing of changing a light bulb. I don't really understand the whole thing about it. And then there's another one, I think near the dentist's office, maybe across, no, where's the other one? On South.
One is south of East Road and one across from the post office that need to be erected. They were
There's
knocked down because of accidents.
2 that need to be erected, 2 that need to light up. I thought.
I believe so.
Yeah, so, but my understanding was it's quite complicated to get this done. And some kind of special electrician was required to do it. And I don't know, maybe in the change of managers that kind of got left.
I'll ask AJ about it. I don't know the status of that.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to say thank you, Jason, for instituting the DPW reports. They've been really great, really
Yes.
informative. So kudos to you for getting that going with AJ. My only question was, can you clarify where the 4 sets of VASPAR lines have been placed, as well as where we left off with the follow-up in terms of maintenance?
Did you,
Yeah,
so these are on those that would have been done over the last month, so.
Yeah, they're at Wildwood and Verona Street. Church at second at the alley between second and third, speeds up. Brunon Center, and then the apartments at South Avenue by River.
So AJ and I were down at the dock, and we looked at it, the decking on that is in pretty bad shape. The framing on that dock with the bench is in equally as bad shape. We talked about possibly using that as another project, that they could float that down the river to and have it hold in a public dock somewhere. and just start, possibly rebuilding that. We'd have to put an estimate together on that, kind of come up with, some numbers, but it looks like it's gonna need to be completely rebuilt at this point. That gate is just completely shut, at least on that small floating one that has the bench on it for sure. And that's also the one that has the damaged and eroded side where the bracket went. So that the bracket's completely gone off of that. And that's where they just strung a cable to it to fasten it to the main part of the dock. So AJ's gonna start working on putting together an estimate for that. Possibly look at something like Trex decking or something like that that might be a little more sturdy and durable.
Can I make a suggestion that we rethink the design of it, because even when it was attached and new, it was scary. It was 6 feet by 6 feet, and anytime there was a wave, you felt like you were gonna get thrown into the. It was too small. Where the benches were, if you tried to like walk around the benches, you were almost falling in the river. It was so tight. So if they could rethink it, maybe make it a little bit bigger or put better floats under it or something so it doesn't. I mean, you can see from the pictures, it's even sinking now. You step on the one part, it sinks down to it touches the ground, water.
Yeah,
So
yep.
It needs thought, maybe a new design, better design.
I also want to highlight what I just overheard John mention in that, which is at the ADA kayak launch grand opening. Jay Costa had mentioned his interest in supporting our efforts to get a grant to redo all of that. So once we have those estimates, not flag that as most appropriate grant.
I mean, the ADA is supposed to be attached to that dock.
It is, isn't it?
No, it's on the other.
No,
Oh, that's right, it's on the other dock. That's
Yeah.
right, it's on still.
But Jay was looking at the dock, and he said it was in bad shape, and he said, well, there might be funding available to replace it.
I also just want to mention, maybe AJ might want to consult with Brian from Outboard Haven, because he's a gentleman who's been running that marina for 30 years and knows a lot about docks. He could suggest an alternate design or whatever. So I can get you Brian's information if you'd like after the meeting or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did talk to the fire chief also last month that we can, if we have to, we can pull the dock up with our boat. But just be advised that our boat comes out,
In about a week or so.
yeah, so it's out of the river, I mean.
Yeah.
Kind of time on it now. Code enforcement report.
Your report's in your packet. There's, a relatively detailed report, as has been the case. A lot of occupancy inspections taking place, a lot of items that are followed up from tip reports that come in, and you can see that those are detailed in the report. So unless there's any questions, that's just in there for your information.
I have two questions. I guess the owner of this one property, it doesn't even say, it says 74 South 12th Street, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They're like the owner of the property, or?
We got through the channel and went to.
Okay, and the other thing too is, do you have a look, I've been looking, I don't see it on here, on Jones Street. Right there where the cutoff is, the porch, it's really trashed. I'm surprised you didn't catch that if it's not on, I don't see it on there, on Jones Street.
Well, it's reactive, so unless it's reported.
Yeah,
Chief has something to say about that.
that's currently in court. He's been cited,
Okay,
so.
all right, thank you.
Jason, this is a fantastic report. I really appreciate the detail. I just wonder, is there any way there could be a problem for the date? Do we know, have some idea how long some of these have been going on for? I mean, obviously, some of them are gonna be longer because there was, again, a switch of personnel and some crossover and maybe starting over and some things, but it would be helpful to know when a process was started.
Sure. Yeah, I can talk to him about his reporting
Yeah,
He's using his own reporting software for these, so I'll ask him about that.
if you can.
Yep.
Thank you.
Next up, the police chief's report, chief.
My report for September, obviously, you see there's an increase of calls for the month of September. Since we put in mass car line, we have been increasing, traffic enforcement in those areas, well, other areas, in the borough. This month was busy. In my monthly activity report that I put towards the end of my report, you'll see some of the things that I've done over the month, that some of us have done. Some noteworthy thing is, as Jason mentioned, DPW helped me clean out one of the back rooms. Now we actually have a dedicated room where we can talk to people instead of doing it in the lobby. More privacy for people coming to the station. We were previously sending Jerry and Trevor on a free training, but no budget, no training, so we had to cancel it. It started a community outreach with the churches in Verona. Trying to work through that, trying to be more visible, help them with any type of security needs that we have, given the crazy world we live in. One thing of real importance is I had a meeting with Echo Realty. Did not go well. If you recall, some of the letters that I sent you that I sent to Echo Realty concerning their footage with their security cameras, they don't care. They even threatened to take away our access to the cameras. So we're going to revisit this in 30 days from the date of the meeting. And their words were, we can't afford new cameras, you just have to. So that's where we're at with it. So if someone comes and reports, hey, my vehicle got hit, we may not have the footage. Or what we're finding out, like Giant Eagle in the liquor store, people running out, getting into a car, we don't have footage of the car.
Chief, I just want to either let people know when you're talking about Echo Realty, that is Giant Eagle Plaza down there.
Right. So, and they were gracious enough to give us direct access to video footage instead of going to them every time that something happens. But there have been issues with the footage over the past almost 3 years. It's been going downhill because the cameras are old. So trying to work through that with our IT department. In the interim, try to reposition some cameras, make a better vantage point for us. We're working on that.
Tom, our camera system, could we be able to get a few cameras of our own, and could we?
Well, it's private property. I mean, you'd have to ask Craig about that.
We'd have to have some sort of license agreement with them just to be on them.
Right. But our cameras, you bring that up, they're functioning great. Since the last repair was in, the only thing that we need to fix is the server.
That's part of the stamp, right?
I believe so. I don't have the correct in front of me.
Yeah.
It's if I pull it up on my work phone, cameras are spot on. But if I go in the station and try to pull up the cameras, it doesn't work all the time because the operating system is very, very outdated.
Jason just said it is part of the stamp program.
Okay.
So then whenever that's.
So yeah, you saw my one letter concerning, with going forward with cameras and such. Also, I'd like to thank the Moose. They did a fundraiser for us and gave us proceeds for what did they have there?
Yeah, annual closing of the deck.
Okay, and they gave us a check and I was able to buy 2 tasers. So yeah, I want to thank them. I sent them a thank you letter. Other than that, do you have anything for me?
Good job, Tom. Thank you.
Is there cameras on the red light?
Yes, that's Penhouse.
The road is actually on our signal.
Right, but that's you don't care that.
Okay, because there's a PennDOT grant coming up that we could.
Absolutely. So should I go back up?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you maybe because people can hear you.
So I had a meeting with the district attorney, all the police chiefs in the AK Valley regarding license plate readers and cameras. He is expanding the program immensely because they are extremely beneficial. Without getting into some of it, which I can't, there should be grants out there for us to obtain, which I'm hopefully going to be eligible for. I would like to get back into the new company that the district attorney's office is leasing with for license plate readers. Right now, we don't have license plate readers. I don't know what the parameters are or what's needed besides money. But we are one of the few municipalities don't have licensed plate readers right now. We used to have PlateSmart. The DA's office is cutting ties with PlateSmart, going to a new company. And they're just working out agreements and the nuts and bolts and the costs, such as how much per camera, how much, police department's gonna pay, so forth and so on. But yes, that would be beneficial, something at that intersection, because to be quite honest, when something happens where Rivertown shop, they go to that intersection, make a right to Pittsburgh. It's like blocking. Very rarely do they come down this way. If they do come this way, we catch them in a while, but like I said, probably 75-80% of the time, they're going south on Boulevard of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'll talk with Jason. There's one coming up. You just have to submit a letter of interest in November for. And then in July, there's another one. That's
Awesome.
available.
That'd be great.
Thanks, Tom. Next up, Dan, TE Fire Chief's report.
Good evening, council. Detailed report has been submitted for your review. In summary, in the month of September, the fire department answered a total of 20 calls. Those included 1 residential structure fire, 1 boat fire, 1 fire outside of a structure, 2 extinguished fires, 3 calls for a smoke in a structure, 2 odor investigations, 3 natural gas leaks, 1 carbon monoxide alarm, 1 commercial fire alarm, 1 vehicle accident, 1 good intent call, and 3 medical assist calls. Of those 20 calls, 11 of those were in the borough of Verona, and we provided mutual aid for 1 call into Oakmont, 1 into Harmer, 1 into Cheswick, and 6 independent. Following up with that, and Matt, in regards to your PennDOT grant, if you have the minimum flexibility, if it's feasible to get signal changers for emergency vehicles, that would be a great thing for the fire.
Preemptive. Yeah, we can look into that. When I mentioned about next, that comes up in like June, July. That's the automatic red light. They solely focus on safety. So that would definitely be a good candidate.
Thanks, Dan. Anybody have anything for Dan? Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
EMS report?
Good evening. Hi. I don't know all of you. My name is Jennifer. I'm the general manager from Mountain Valley. Carrie is not able to make it, so he sent me tonight. I believe you all have the September report in your packet, so I'll just go over it briefly with. In September, Lower Valley responded to 49 calls in the Verona Borough. 17 of them were treated and transported for ALS needs. 7 of those were for treated and transported for BLS needs. We did 6 fire standbys. We had 4 patient refusals. We did 3 patient lift assists. We had 5 that were canceled prior to us responding over here. We did 2 mutual aid responses, which I believe were, I'm not sure how Terry does this, but I think this was for the Penn Hills area. And then we had 1 treatment, no transport, and 4 no transport others. I'm not sure how he breaks this up. I would have to talk to Terry about those. But that calculates for the 49 calls we did in the month of September. Does anybody have any questions for me?
It's nice seeing the ambulance around town all the time.
It is nice being over here. We do inform. Okay,
Thanks, Jay.
any other questions?
No.
No?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you very much.
Next up, the solicitor's report, Mr. Alexander.
Thank you, Mr. President. I did submit a report in your packets. There's one addition. We did hold an executive session immediately preceding tonight's meeting to discuss personnel matters and collective bargaining matters. That's all I have.
Thank you. Next up, engineer's report, Mr. Pitch.
Thank you, Mr. President. I did submit a written report as well. A few updates since that was submitted. We did receive the demolition permits back from the county. We sent those to the COG and we're just waiting their signature. Beyond that, they'll be scheduling the demolition of those buildings. And just as a reminder, that's 204 West Railroad, 473 Union Street, and 812 First Street.
You have any idea when that might be? in a month, in 2 months, it's spring.
As soon as we get the permit back from the COG, it's just whatever the contractor schedule is.
Depends on how
They
fast
should
Rob wants
come
to.
down, yeah. Other than that, they should come down pretty fast, 2 to 3 days per structure, so that's not the long thing, it's just the paperwork.
Nothing on East Railroad one yet?
No, that one's funded through the Act 152 program, and we don't have the go ahead on it yet.
Which one is that on East Railway?
523.
Yeah, 5 people.
The last month, we talked about the LSA paving that is for the remainder of Sylvan, Front Street, and Heron Avenue. And it was brought up if the dead end portion of Sylvan was included on that. I put together the cost estimate and everyone was okay with that, so we did execute the change order. So that section of Sylvan was added to the project. They did just have the site review today to paint out the limits of the work. And we're tentatively on the schedule for October 27th. As we get confirmation on that date, we'll send out notices and I'll let Jason know so we can get it on the website and everything.
Hey, Matt, on Front Street, where it's going over and meeting Selden, and you can make that U-turn and go up. Looks like they're stopping before they're doing that little extra intersection. Did you notice that?
I'll take a look at it when the meeting's over. I wasn't part of the crew.
I mean, that little extra intersection, that's all boogered up too, you know?
Yeah, I'll take a look at that. If we need to, we'll extend it. I know, when you start on the U-turn, it starts onto the brick there.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little more difficult, but I'll take a look at it.
Okay, thank you.
Matt, I had a question about the 24 MTF, Council Clean Club would be here tonight to discuss the Arch Street paving. Is there a component of design for incorporation of the bike lanes and pedestrian features, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I was gonna touch on that. So I did talk to Oakmont Water today. All the main lines in charged and tested. They should be starting services by the end of this week. They anticipate that's gonna take them about 2 weeks, and then their contractor will be back in to pave the road or pave the trench plus the limits of work with binder. And that was an agreement we worked out with them. So our project held off because we didn't want to pave and have them rip it up 2 months later. So when we apply for the grant, we do have a component that the final design still a little flexible, but we did have a painted line. We don't have the funds to put elevated sidewalks or anything, but we did have a painted lane that was for shared use between pedestrians and bicycles. We were painting crosswalks at all the intersections and then paving the full length.
Okay, great. Now with the Oakmont Water Authority paving, is there any potential to save on our eventual paving and use that money for something else?
So the section that they were in, we're a less scope on that. So in that section, we're just a 2.5 inch mill with a scratch and overlay. So in their trench line, they're putting 4 inches of binder. So we'll just scratch the top of what they have there. And then the end portion by the rowing club, that's gonna be a 4 inches deep with binder and wearing to build the road up since it's just really stone down there. But yeah, if this was a normal project that we didn't have the grant in place, we would have negotiated something where we paved the road after the fact and split the cost. But we had this in place, and when I talked to them, they wanted to get in there ahead of us. That way, again, they weren't digging into a freshly paved road in the spring.
Yeah, good coordination. Thank you.
So hypothetically, if we didn't have any grant or any plans for our street, and they were doing all this water line installation and digging up the road, according to our ordinance, it says they have to pay from curb to curb. Would they have been responsible for paying on the entire length that they were digging up, the water authority?
Correct. But we have the grant already.
The idea of being, I guess, if the water authority would originally have been responsible, we could use that grant money for something else.
You can't change it. It's for Arch Street.
Yeah, it's too late now. I guess.
Well, they replaced the water line because of the grant.
Oh,
Because they had the Arch Street break last year, where they replaced the water line on, or I'm sorry, not Fairview, where they replaced that.
yes.
That got the conversation started. We found out we had the grant. I let them know because every year at the beginning of the year, we kind of coordinate to see what projects they have coming up, what we have coming up. I informed them of that. They said that they would like to replace Arch Street before we did our work, which just made sense. So if we did not have anything in place there, right, that based off our ordinance, they would have to mill and pave the road. But because they were more or less accelerating this project because of our grant, we worked it out that they just had to increase the thickness of their trench repair. And then we'll come in the spring and finish the road.
We're very early spring.
Yeah, we'll have it bid out this winter, that way it's on the contractors list.
The other thing I noticed from being down there is that some work that they are doing on it, which is the road you go down Arch before you get on a little section that's gravel, you turn left at Sheridan. So is our grant gonna cover fixing that as well, or
No, that would be part of theirs. We only have Arch.
will they match the paving, like depth or whatever you call it? The amount of asphalt so that it's a smooth transition, looks the same?
Yeah, they will. And they have to turn up there to just make their connection point.
Okay.
Well, didn't they get down Sylvan a little bit too, and hit a couple houses down there? Or just,
Sylvan?
I'll double check that. I know they turned down Sheridan, but I'll double check Sylvan.
thanks, man.
And then a few other updates I'd mentioned last month of the Penn Hills completing some CCTV, so they did complete that. I received the files yesterday, so I'll review those, make sure that we don't have any issues with the Diamond Way sanitary there. They're looking, they actually have an open-ended contract with Snyder Environmental, which is doing our lining. So they're hoping to piggyback that as soon as ours is done, they can do their project. Again, it's in the borough. They're getting their DEP credits for it, but it's not costing us anything.
Right?
And then, Jason touched on it, that DPW cambered the sanitary line at the end of Sylvan Street. They found that the line was collapsed, so we had a contractor in. We did a repair there. As they kept chasing the brakes, it was evident that it was a bigger project than just a 10-foot section. So as they kept chasing it, we were over halfway to the next manhole, so we made the decision, we just replaced all the line from the manhole to where the initial dig repair was. We oversaw that. It was about 110 feet of pipe that was replaced, so, and we got everything flowing back together. One thing we'll have to circle back on, that line has a lot of grease in it, coming from the plaza. It's not our regulation, it's the county's regulation, but we'll work with them to try to find a means to try to slow that down. Talking with Elkis, and they use a special chemical in the pump station. I think he said they spend about 10,000 a month to break the grease down so it doesn't clog their facility up. So something that we'll be following up on. And then with ARB getting paved, our two intersections of Union Street and South Avenue, about the first 40 feet of each of those intersections are gonna get paved, tentatively starting towards the end of next week. As soon as I have that scheduled, we'll get notices out, because Union Street will have to be closed at high. So the people in between will just have to go the wrong way while the work's being done. But other than that, it will be open when it's non-working hours.
I don't know if you know or Jason knows, for that 110 feet of sewer line that needed to be repaired. Is that part of a grant, or are we using our sewer fund money for that?
That was sewer fund.
So that good, it's a good thing we have a healthy city.
Yeah, it was an emergency repair. We, I think AJ got alerted from it because there was a backup. And when they started cammering, they found that the pipe was 75% crushed. When we got down to it, we chased it another 10 feet. We ended up finding a void underground. So clearly the line had been leaking for some time. And it ran right next to a building's foundation. So it was a
little bit of a challenging project, but we got it completed.
Do we know about how much that costs?
Sent it over to Jake. I think it was like 38, 40. No, I was surprised. I mean, luckily before the project, the contractor sent over a quote of what it would be per lineal foot, so we had that to start with. There was a few extra, like he had to rent a pump, the pump the sewage around the work zone, and he had to rent some trench ponds. But besides that, it was a pretty reasonable repair.
But thank you, everybody who was involved with that for getting that done in such a timely manner. I think
Yeah.
I was out of town at the time. I just heard about it through email.
Yeah.
But that had to be
And it's
kind of a hairy situation.
only 4 days it decided to rain on us, was 4 days he got the trench open. But we got it done.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Do you want to mention anything about these pipes up here in the parking lot just for people's?
Oh, yeah, so those are part of our sanitary sewer lining project. That's the material that they're using. They'll be starting on Monday to put those in. That's for most of the length of Center Avenue and a couple small offshoots along 4th Street. So as they use them, those will be disappearing. And while they're working, they need access to the manhole with their trailer and box truck. But there's not going to be any road closures. There might be temporary closures while they're moving a piece of machinery or whatnot, but they're only supposed to have lane closed at a time and flag people around it. So minor inconvenience, but no road closures.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Nice update. Next up would be Ms. Redzak.
Oh, thank you, Mr. President. I'll be on to council members. The other thing I have to mention is that tomorrow is our monthly meeting of the newly merged Strategic Planning Community Relations Committee. That'll be at 4 o'clock tomorrow, both in person here and on Zoom. We'll be joined by our in-house staff, Jason Daly, to talk about the committee merger and possibly moving towards a super committee structure moving forward, as well as switch and about halfway through to talk about the sidewalk work. So if anyone has an interest in that, welcome you to join us.
Good.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up will be Dr. Carpenter.
Thank you. I'm just gonna go through some quick little updates, announcements, and then go to the discussion item. I just want to let everybody know that the slow down campaign signs are complete and posted around town. I don't know if people have seen them. I have no idea how effective they're being, but we're trying everything, throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. So, if they prove to be effective, we can make some more. They're not that expensive. I was wondering, Jason, the blight webinar that happened on the 17th, somewhere there's a video. You could forward that to anyone who's interested. I am. Thank you. Also, just want to let people know that, Jennifer left, that, board members are still being accepted for Lower Valley Ambulance Service until the 20th of October. If anybody is interested in being on that board, they would be submitting their applications to the ambulance company directly. The lighting, electricity issues we addressed earlier. I don't have anything more to add. You're gonna look into the poles that need to go up. Okay, great.
I'll touch base with AJ as well. I know he was having a company, I'll try to trace them.
Okay.
Spot was the conduit went out into the road. I didn't talk to him today. I think they were out here yesterday.
Okay.
If it's out in the road, it's worth mentioning to Felino.
Oh,
It's tough to prove, as Jason said, but we can maybe mention it to him.
okay. But you mean in terms of reinstalling those light poles that got knocked down, those?
No, the 3 on Alexander Boulevard that are out.
Out.
There was some discussion that the conduit was out in the road, which I'm not sure AJ was gonna work with an electrician to try to trace where the conduit
Oh,
was.
I see.
It should be on the sidewalk, somewhere with the curb, but I'm not sure. As far as those two that were knocked down, I'll follow up with AJ. I think we have the one for East Railroad. The issue with the other one across from the post office was the foundation was damaged.
Well, okay, there's some confusion. I think that there are two light poles that are up that don't light up. And it wasn't a question of simply replacing a light bulb. One is on center near get-go on that side, and the other one I thought was near the dentist's office.
No,
No,
South Avenue Enterprise, but
South Avenue and Enterprise is where the other one is. Then there are two places where there are poles that were knocked down. One is on South Avenue, closer to Billy Kay's. And the other one is
ARB by,
ARB by the
Yeah.
dentist. Yes,
The Billy K's is the one that I think we have a pole for. It just needs to be put
oh,
up.
I thought we had both poles.
We might have the other pole, but I know, when they hit that one, it for the foundation pole. Out of the concrete,
What does that mean?
so the foundation has to be jackhammered out and rebored.
Okay,
Which
Well,
we had cost
yeah.
low for, and then I think it turned into an insurance thing because the insurance said it was way too high. And they were negotiating, and I don't know where that went there.
well, I don't either. I don't know if that's anything you can help us with, Jason, or not.
Oh, that's like,
Okay,
the light bulb function, so circuit, it's in there too, right? There's a panel, so.
Yeah, I'll mention it to AJ, the one by Get-Go, just off the top of my head, it could be the photo sensor. Because there's so much other light there, it could just be tricking itself, that it doesn't need to come on.
Okay, moving on. I just was wondering, with the stamp grant, we keep hearing the stamp grant, and then I know we applied for the COPS grant. And some other grants. Does anyone know here how much the state shutdown and the federal might be affecting our ability to get these grants?
100%.
Yeah.
So
Government.
it's not so much that we won't get them, it just might be that we get them long time from now when things get straightened out. Okay. I'm sorry, I
It
couldn't
could be
hear
a
you.
couple months after the budget passes.
Okay, a couple months after the budget for the state, for the stamp.
Yeah.
COPS, I thought was a federal grant. That. I don't know. Nice try. Anyway, just letting people know, grants are delayed. The first stage class that we were gonna have on October 18th, which would have been this Saturday. We are postponing that due to lack of interest. And we're gonna try again in the spring or something. And the other announcement is, the Riverview Community Action Corporation is our senior center for both Oakmont and Verona. And they're having an open house, and there's a couple of flyers over there on the podium on November 6th from 3:30 to 5:30. Anybody is welcome. You don't have to be older in order to come. They really want to invite anybody who's interested. There are various, we want to expand. And so we are interested in anybody's ideas. I can get more flyers or email them to you if you're interested, let me know. That one. And so that leaves just, number 2. Pumps. Let's be clear, I'm talking about speed humps, not speed bumps. There's a difference. Pumps are a lot easier on your car. They are all through the city of Pittsburgh in East Liberty, Squirrel Hill, Shady Side, Oakland. They do slow you down because I know they slow me down. And they have markings, they warn you, there's a speed hump coming. It was my thought, and this is what I want to discuss with people, to put one on Selden between that company, the name of which escapes me, where the people come out. Someone here must.
Yeah, the plastics plant in Conco.
Conco?
solid.
On Selden?
Yeah,
Okay, so anyway, somewhere between that exit from their parking lot up to where the stop sign is, where Ridge and Selden come together, put one hump there. Put one hump on the section of Ridge between First and Selden. and one hump between the fork in the road and High Street. So 3 humps. So that is my proposal, thought, idea about installing humps in that area. The other thing is, which is slightly separate, but sort of the same, as we heard from, and I think he's on, actually.
I see now, yeah.
Yeah, that when we pave Arch Street, which I think that right now the plan is to pave it all the way down to Steel City Road.
Correct.
If we could put a hump in that block, like in the middle of it somewhere, with the appropriate markings. And that would slow people down, so we can still pave it and not leave it a gravel road, but have a way to slow people down. So that's a total of 4 humps. I'd like to know what people think, how much does it cost to put a hump in if you're not already paving the road, or, you know, if you have any idea about that?
I think this is something for a workshop. Honestly.
Well, just some preliminary thoughts off the top of your head, anybody?
My research, it's about $3,000 per hump.
40,000 per hump.
Really?
That's the way.
I have not personally installed any, so I know it's gonna be much more costly if you install them after the fact than if it's during a paving project. You're gonna have to, you just don't put the asphalt on top of the road, you're gonna have to mill it out. It's not gonna be just a 4 foot wide for the hump, you're gonna have a certain distance each way to key it in and everything, so I mean, they're labor intensive, or if they're after the fact. If we get them involved in a paving program, it's not gonna be as expensive because they can put them down as they go. It's still not gonna be the same, like, you're not gonna put humps in for the same price as just paving either, because again, it's gonna be more labor intensive to put them in.
Can I make a suggestion that you get a price for both? Already paid for it and have it done with the paving, and then you can present it again at the workshop meeting with those quotes that I don't feel comfortable discussing anything unless I have a price tag.
Yes, that makes sense, so, yeah.
One of the ones mentioned was on Front Street. So I'll reach out to El Grande and try to get a price for him
Okay.
this week. That way it can be circulated. If the price makes sense, they're gonna be paving towards the end of the month. So we can try one there at least. Like I said, I have not put them in, so I don't know what type of cost to expect from them. But I'll reach out to him and see if he would quote one for us.
So Front Street is what I call Selden, but it's between the fork in the road and High Street, I mean,
Before the U-turn to go up to High Street.
is considered Front Street?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
So about halfway down that
yeah,
block.
and they're paving that now. Or
Yeah, that's part of this project.
Yes, okay, so if you could send that to us,
Absolutely.
for this convenience, thank you.
By a related note, could you also look into a hump coinciding with that paving as well as a raised crosswalk / hump? Same time. I mean,
Right after Doughboy
yes.
or Cannon. By the steps. So by the
steps, that's 2 different.
By the steps, we certainly could. I'd have to look into the one closer to ARB. I think that's still within the state right away, so we might have to get their approval for that.
I think the steps makes sense.
But a lot of times the raised crosswalks can double as the hump.
Right.
So we could just position it right at the steps and paint it as the crosswalk as well.
Excellent,
Good.
great idea, combine.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll get a hold of El Grande and see if I can get a price sometime this week for that.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So, let's move over here. So the only other thing I have is to just say that the next public safety meeting is gonna be on October 21st, which is a week from today at 5:30. Here in the chamber and also on Zoom. Anyone is welcome to attend. That's
Thanks,
it.
Dan. Thanks,
Thank
Dan.
you.
Next up will be Vince Flota.
Yes, I just found this out. Jason, could you ask DPW tomorrow to reset the sign at grips? If you set the breaker, that's the.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Vince.
The sign is out at Cribs, and I asked Jason to tell BBW to reset the motor.
Oh,
And I would also like to just remind everybody, I want to express my concerns about council needing to interview every police officer that we hire and or at least be able to see their applications before we hire. So I have.
Thanks, Vince. Next up would be Timmy Long.
Everything I had was actually talked about, I did the numbers for the new vehicle. That fit within the budget, but now Jason's working on the budget, we should be having a meeting here within a week or so on the budget. And be going from there.
Very good, thank you. Next up will be Johnny Jamelis.
Thank you, Ray. Tomorrow, we're gonna have our personnel committee meeting. We're gonna cover the outline HR projects that are going on, including the handbook. And we are trying to get the handbook launched by the 28th. And from what I understand, I understand that there were a couple comments, right, Jason? What is there, is that going to delay our launch?
That's the plan was that the board would adopt the handbook at the meeting on the 28th. And we would roll this out to the employees the following.
Okay. All right. So we'll stick with the plan on that. Tomorrow, we're going to discuss some other HR projects, including public response policy that we're working on, the records retention, and some other things on the HR projects list. Our consultant will be in attendance. And that's it. That's all I have right now.
Very good, thanks, John. Next up will be Mr. Provenza.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good evening, everyone. I had a notation here, and I guess Trish read my mind. The Community Relations Committee has not disappeared. We have been merged with the Strategic Planning Committee, and as Trish mentioned, we will be meeting tomorrow at 4 p.m. here or by Zoom. So watch it tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Jason, down at Rivertime, right by the Rivertime in the middle of the road, there was a sewer lid grate, couple cones on it. Do you know what that's about?
Yeah, I seen it too over the weekend.
The
Yeah,
manhole cover needed replaced.
did they replace it?
They did something today, yeah.
I was gonna say, it looks like he did something. There was still the cones right in the middle of the road.
There was something by our church on Sunday too. It looked like it was like a ring for the man covers. It was that big.
Oh, yeah.
It was laying on the sidewalk.
Probably riser.
Wonder if it was something from PennDOT doing the road.
I don't know. We were going into church.
Is it gone now?
I haven't been told Sunday.
Yeah. The road was about, it's about half inch different from what it was.
Oh,
So they
okay.
come through ahead of time and they put those down that way. Cause they don't have them laying there, the pavers just go right on by and then everything's low and creaks, bumps as you drive over it.
Okay.
So they take the lid off, put that down and it brings the lid up right.
Yeah, okay.
Very good, thank you. Alon, Mr. Provenza?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. Allegheny League of Municipalities, every year they hold a seminar which is geared toward our public works people. And recently, AJ Gucci, John Jablonski, and John Randis attended this seminar. And I thank them for going. I think this is a very well done thing, and it teaches anything that maybe they would miss. They're going to learn it there, and I believe they enjoy going there. And with that seminar, it's a combination presentation and a panel discussion with local experts and also vendors. And it regards things like stormwater, MS4, paving, GIS, and many, many more things. So this is a very good thing. I'm very glad they go, and I send out a thanks to all three of them for attending and representing Verona. Thank you.
That's it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Bob, we spoke about earlier about the permits and everything. We're waiting for the permits from Rob to get signed. We'll get these houses, 3 houses tore down. Old business, there's none. Ordinary items. I'll take a motion to accept the bills from September of 25.
Make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Long, second by Ms. Redzak. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes of July 8th and July 22nd.
I'll make that motion.
First by Dr. Carpenter, second by Mr. Provenza. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. New business action items. We need a hold on 1 second, please. Due to unforeseen circumstances, newly appointed officer Owen Pinio had to resign his position with the borough. This time I'll entertain a motion to accept their resignation.
I'll move to accept the resignation of Mr. Owen Pino effective immediately.
Motion by Dr. Carpenter,
I'll second.
second by Joni Jamelis. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. The next is civil service rule changes. Civil Service Board has revised the physical agility requirements with updates reflecting more applicable testing skills. Those changes have been provided to the board for review and consideration. At this time, I'll entertain a motion and then discussion on the changes. Motion by Mrs. Provenza, second by Dr. Carpenter. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next, Chamber of Commerce has requested to use the Railroad Park and the borough bathrooms for events being held on October 18th, October 25th, and December 6th. I will entertain a motion to approve these dates.
I'll move to approve the use of the park and restrooms for the proposed dates.
First by Dr. Carpenter,
Second.
second by Ms. Redzak. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next is a concurrent grant resolution. The borough is eligible for funds through Allegheny County for blight remediation in the amount of $20,000. These funds will be used for the demolition of 437 Union. I will entertain a motion to approve this resolution. Motion by Mr. Flotis, second by Dr. Carpenter. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next is a slum and blight resolution. As a result of the grant funds being awarded from the prior motion, the borough is required to adopt the slum and blight resolution for the specific property of 437 Union.
473.
Okay, it says 437, but we'll change that to 473. I will entertain a motion to approve that resolution. Motion by Mr. Long, second by Dr. Carpenter. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next is the Pittsburgh Pickle Land Use Agreement for sign. Council was presented with a proposed sign location on Second Avenue for a borough sign on land owned by Pittsburgh Pickle. The agreement stipulates authorization for the sign with the borough retained maintenance responsibilities. This is also a requirement for the application to Penn Hills. I will entertain a motion to authorize this agreement.
To approve the land use agreement for the sign placement on Second Avenue with the landowner.
I'll second.
First by Dr. Carpenter, second by John Jamelis. Are there any questions?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll approve the land use agreement, but again, Mayor, I don't agree with using mismatched signs in the borough. I would like to see a uniform signage campaign, but that's my opinion. Go ahead, Vince.
Does anybody talk to DPW about this, let them know that they would have to be maintaining this property?
yes. You have, then they're aware of it, everything's okay?
I don't know if they're okay with it, but they were told that they would need to be the ones that would be maintaining it.
Right.
There's not much there.
Yeah. As to Trish's concerns, I mean, we have the sign now, doesn't mean we can't have some type of campaign to raise funds for new signs to match.
We could put the one we have up nice. It's like a 2D or 3D sign that we had. It's a nice looking sign, but in the future, we could always change it.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. The next. This isn't on here. Not on here under new business and action items, the vehicle leasing.
It is, it was on, it might have been put on the revised agenda that was uploaded.
Okay.
Yep.
The next is a vehicle leasing. Parameters for replacement of the police Tahoe have been met. The vehicle will be trained. The vehicle will be trained for a Dodge, should say traded, for a Dodge Durango. It is recommended that the borough finance the purchase and upfitting of this vehicle at a cost of $57,426 through leasing specialists at a rate of 5.89 for the term of 4 years. It is recommended by the interim manager, borough manager, that the borough replicate this replacement plan at the same time next year to minimize the financial impact to the general fund budget. At this time, I want to entertain a motion and then discussion on the matter.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Long, second by Dr. Carpenter. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Announcements, Mr. Preventer.
Yes, thank you. Newsletter. We're currently working on our winter edition of the newsletter, and it's going to cover December, January, and February. The ads and the articles are going to be due on Saturday, November 1st. So if you can get them into us even sooner, that would be better. And for articles, Donald Worth can be reached at 412-828-3607 or at the Verona newsletter at gmail.com. And I can be reached for ads at 412-828-7726. Chamber of Commerce, next meeting is going to be held on Tuesday, October 21, here in the Borough Building. And Chief Tom, you're here, you're president of Chamber. Is there anything you would like to add to the chamber?
So everyone pretty much covered it. We're good.
Okay, thank you. Twin Borough Ministries, the next community dinner is going to be held on Wednesday, October 29th, and it will be at the Verona Methodist Church from 4:30 to 6:30. And it will be hosted by the Verona Moose. Historical Society, next meeting is going to be held on Thursday, October the 16th at 7 p.m. here in the Borough Building. And the guest speaker will be Gary Rogers with the Oakmont Historical Society. And we will be speaking on prohibition in Oakmont and Verona. That should be interesting, and all are welcome. And
BYOB.
Thank you. If there's any comments, I'd like to take them. And not this covers my information.
Sylvia, I apologize. I did skip something. I know everyone's got here.
That's okay.
Trunk or treats Thursday, 23rd, 4 to 6. And then,
Right.
I'm sorry, it's been a long day.
Right.
The parade, yes, the 25th. That starts at 11 o'clock. We'll meet at the pavilion. and walk around the business, in Candy. I think we got close to 80% participation from businesses on the boulevard this year. So,
Nice.
Very good.
So it starts at 10.
no, 11.
11.
Thanks, Tony.
May I also add quickly, the community garden is having a fall cleanup on Saturday, the 25th as well, from 10 to 1.
Very good. Anybody else? This time we'll hear comments from the public. Please approach the podium, raise your virtual hand, state your name and address.
Hi, I'm Francie Robb. I'm with the Sylvan Canoe Club, 102 Arch Street. And I'm here because we're concerned about what's going on with the Arch Street paving project and trying to figure out exactly get some of our issues or some of our concerns clarified. And so first of this is the grant does include design features for the road as well as the actual construction? Or has that been done?
So we
What
have,
is the current timeline, I guess?
we have preliminary renderings that were completed, so we have an idea of what the scope is,
Okay,
but the actual construction specs have not been completed yet, and that's part of the grant.
okay, how do we get access to, I contact you to get access to the preliminary renderings or?
Yeah, if you can give me, I'll
Sure,
get
I'll be in touch.
I'll get your contact information and I can just email them.
Okay, super. Our concern, our property goes on both sides of Arch Street, and so we do have people crossing. And as we have more and more families there, we have younger children crossing, so we're really concerned about traffic calming. We've already noticed last 2 or 3 years is a significant increase in the amount of people using Arch Street, which is wonderful, except they're going really fast. So we're already seeing that change with the potholes in place. And so we are concerned about traffic calming measures that can go into place as well. And just general safety concerns about whatever happens with the road and where it goes. We're also a little worried about unanticipated consequences, like if Arch Street is paved and Penn is not. Is that going to increase that much more traffic on Arch Street? And what can we do about that? Or how do we solve some of those issues? And then obviously we're concerned about the drainage. If the road is paved, there's going to be it's higher than it has been from there. So appreciate what you guys are doing, and I will be in touch with you, Matt, then about
Yep, no problem.
getting
Yeah,
contact.
before you leave, let me get your email address and I can send it to
Will
you.
do, yeah. Keep that on. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Nothing virtual? Oh, okay.
Leah Wilson, 467 Union. While I am absolutely thrilled that the abandoned house on Union is being torn down, thank you very much. I am very concerned about the comments that the borough is taking care of the abandoned properties around town or around the borough. From what I've seen just of the 2 on Union that I'm aware of, 473 Union is covered in poison oak. I'm 2 houses down from that. It is creeped from that yard to my neighbor's house and now into my yard, which I'm highly allergic, so it's not a great time for me. As well as another house, it's a few houses down, it looks like it's being taken back into nature. There's raccoons you can see living inside of the house, the greenery has completely taken over the porch, you can barely see the house itself. So I was just wondering what you meant by taking care of these properties and in what ways.
What I meant was, to figure out how the borough could assume these properties and put them back on the tax bracket, bracket and resell them though.
A lot of times these houses are abandoned
Yes.
and there's a lien against their property. Somebody's got to at least just cut the grass and that's what our BPW does.
I'm just saying that's not from what we've seen, at least on the houses in Union, where they've been overtaken by the green.
They might not be owned by the borough. They might still be owned by the property owner.
The borough's tearing them down.
Borough gets
Four
grant.
seven three Union is one of the ones on our list.
She's talking about a different one that's up there.
I'm talking about two of them that are on Union, one
So they tore down already?
No, the one specifically is 473, in which the poison oak is now encroaching on the sidewalk, not just from yard to yard.
473 is on the radar to get torn down.
And is there a plan to deal with any critters that may be living inside of that house when it does get torn down?
There is an ordinance
Yeah.
that exists that says we have to exterminate
Okay,
before they demolish.
just wondering if I should put out rat poison before.
Well, you don't have to, the borough has a higher, hopefully Bill will exterminating, I think that's who we mentioned in the ordinance. To come and do the exterminating, so that when they demo it, all those animals don't go to the
Right.
neighboring houses. Yes,
One major concern, because we do see a lot of critters in and out of those properties.
that's my understanding of how that's supposed to happen. What's the other one?
The other one is, I have to look up the exact address, but it's on Union, and if you drive by it, you'll see it. It's completely taken over by the greenery around it. There's at least a family of 3 raccoons that you can see in the window on the second floor. Yeah, they're hanging from chandeliers. But
Close to have.
they're having a great time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Leah.
Anybody else?
I know that, Sherry was here earlier, and had to leave, but I've been going back and forth with her. She was going to bring up an item to council, this evening. With regard to the amusement devices, the ordinance right now does not permit there to be proration of the amusement device fees. And if they are going to be transferred, it needs to be with approval of council. She's proposing to do both, which is install these devices into a different establishment and to transfer them from a current establishment. I don't know if this requires council action or not, but the ordinance itself just says that the borough needs to weigh in on whether or not it's approving the transfer of her to move those devices from one establishment to another mid-year. So if there's no objection by council, there's nothing in the ordinance that says that this requires formal action, but that's what she was going to be coming and discussing.
Do you know from where to where, more specific?
Hula bar to Jack's.
It's Jack's.
Barber shop.
Oh, okay.
So she already paid the amusement tax from the hula bar. She just wants to move it from here to here.
Right.
I don't know. I personally don't see an issue with that, Mr. Solicitor.
It's a board decision.
Yeah, I don't believe that the ordinance says that there's board action. It just says that the borough needs to authorize the.
We can have Mr. Alexander look at the ordinance and see where it says. And also, I think the price needs to be changed in the ordinance because it's still under the 500 one, I think.
Yes.
We need to look into that. $750.
That was one of the stamp recommendations.
I might, maybe we put in there too. Confused about why. You do that,
She probably feels that she doesn't have to pay the fee then. Or, I don't know.
so. Jack's Barber Shop will pay the fee, like,
Well, she already has it paid.
yeah,
So she doesn't want to put probably doesn't want to put another machine in Jack's, where she'd have to pay the new fee. Take one of the whatever, however many she has with the hula, and take 1 or 2 of them from there. I don't know.
yeah, I, that's why I'd like to solicitor looking at it, see if it's even.
This solicitor,
Where,
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Anything else?
Mr. President,
There comes Sherry now.
I just wanted to clarify, we threw a lot of addresses around. The resolutions that we passed tonight were for 459 Union Street. 473 is already under a grant to be demoed. The resolutions don't have the addresses on them, so nothing needs to be changed. I just wanted to point that out for clarity.
Okay, thank you. Sherry,
Yeah.
you want to speak?
What,
Public comment, you wanted to talk?
no,
Okay. This time I'll take a motion to adjourn.
motion.
Motion by Mr. Bode, second by Mr. Provenza, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you for coming. Have a safe trip home.
What are you doing?
Fantastic.
Sorry.
I'm trying to be very good about it. Thanks.
So.